Why is it impossible for a woman to stay loyal to you? 99% of men completely misunderstand loyalty. Even if people attack me for saying this, I am still going to lay out the brutal truth. The men who spend every day checking messages, tracking her movements, trying to prevent cheating, or even begging her not to lose interest need to wake up. You think you are protecting the relationship. In reality, you are pushing yourself into a position where you can be controlled and destroyed. The men who truly understand status, power, and human nature do not waste their energy playing detective. Weak men chase shadows. Strong men control the whole board. Human nature does not care about conscience or promises. These 5 rules can make any woman stay loyal to you. Rule 1. Take the God's eye view and reclaim control. Too many people are torn apart by relationships. The moment their partner becomes hysterical, they either lose control and fight back, or escape into the silent treatment. That is the same as placing the remote control to your emotions directly into someone else's hand. A true master switches into the observer's position the moment the smoke begins to rise. When she tries to tear apart your reason with anger, do not rush to argue with her. Do not humiliate yourself by desperately trying to prove your innocence. Simply watch the performance as if you were sitting in an audience. Watch her become more furious because she cannot control you. Watch her play every card she has and still fail to move you. When she has finally exhausted herself, ask in the calmest voice possible, "Are you finished? I want to see how much lower you are willing to go." That complete absence of emotional reaction is a devastating status blow. Her home field advantage disappears. The weapon she trusted suddenly has nothing to hit, and her psychological defense collapses. Rule 2. The invisible noose and the open door. Beginners try to control a relationship with endless rules. You cannot have dinner with him. You cannot go there. You must tell me where you are at all times. That is the mindset of a guard, not a confident partner. It exhausts you and accomplishes nothing. A man who truly controls the situation never confiscates a woman's freedom. He plays a deeper game by leaving the gate completely open. When she tells you she is going to a dinner filled with temptation, do not stop her. You can even smile, straighten her collar, and calmly say, "Go. Enjoy yourself." Then become completely unavailable for the rest of the night. Do not send a single message. Do not answer a single call. Beneath that extreme freedom is a much colder message. I can give you the right to choose, but I also have the power to replace you at any time. Real obedience is not produced by surveillance. You leave the exit wide open and discover whether she actually has the courage to walk through it. That invisible psychological contest becomes a noose. When temptation appears, she is the one who begins to feel watched from behind. Rule 3. Give like a paycheck without emotional neediness. Countless half-qualified internet gurus tell you never to treat your partner well. That is nothing more than the limited imagination of bitter men behind keyboards. Powerful men in the real world are willing to spend resources, but they give the way a company pays a salary, steadily, calmly, and without emotional fluctuation. An ordinary man buys a bag or does a favor, then secretly expects worship, gratitude, and affection in return. That is not generosity. It is emotional begging. A powerful man may solve a serious problem for her or casually give her an expensive gift without even taking his eyes away from his computer. He simply says, "I picked it up while I was out. Take it," and close the door behind you. He asks for no repayment, no praise, and no emotional reassurance. Material generosity stripped of emotional exchange creates an intimidating difference in position. It silently communicates, "I can afford to give this to you, but I do not need your reaction." That contrast can make the other person work harder and harder to win your approval. Rule 4. Break cause and effect. Create an emotional mystery box. The men who are easily controlled in relationships all share the same weakness. Their behavior is completely predictable. She dresses up, and you immediately worship her. She pouts, and you abandon every boundary. You are no different from a pet that begins to salivate when it hears a bell. Psychology has a famous mechanism called intermittent reinforcement. It explains why gamblers cannot walk away from slot machines. They never know whether the next press of the button will produce a jackpot or nothing at all. You must turn your positive attention into an emotional mystery box. When she deliberately dresses in a seductive way to control your attention, remain neutral. You may even make one or two objective criticisms. But on an ordinary morning, when she casually brings you a glass of warm water, suddenly give her a powerful embrace and the strongest emotional validation. Now her map of cause and effect no longer works. She can never fully predict your pattern. Like a gambler desperate for the next reward, she may devote all of her energy to discovering what will trigger your unpredictable approval. Rule 5. Reset the relationship to 0 every day. Weak people suffer because they continue paying for old romance and yesterday's memories. We have been together for 5 years. She used to do everything I asked. But in the adult world of interests and consequences, yesterday's achievements are worth 0 today. You must learn the daily reset rule. It does not matter how many years you have been together or how close you were last night. If she crosses one of your fundamental boundaries this morning, your eyes must be able to shift, within a second, to the cold evaluation you would give a stranger. Treat every moment as if you were meeting for the first time. Reassess what she brings to your life. Do not let old history purchase permission for new disrespect. That cold reset mechanism keeps the other person alert and makes her think carefully before testing your deepest boundaries. At this point, someone will inevitably complain. If you calculate everything like this, where's the warmth? What a miserable way to love. Do not dismiss this as manipulation. It is a clear understanding of the human instinct to approach benefit and avoid loss. Most people lose completely in relationships because, even as adults, they are still searching for an infant's safe harbor. They try to use morality like a sheet of paper to cover the possibility that they may eventually be abandoned. The core of these ideas is not to teach you to perform or deceive. It is to force you to turn the knife of external need back toward yourself. Taking the God's eye view means becoming strong enough to remain calm while someone throws their ugliest words at you. Following the daily reset rule means developing the strength to survive the loss of everything. If an empty, insecure man copies these techniques mechanically, he will only look like an angry and powerless clown. But when a man with a strong core and real substance lives by them, his behavior communicates one thing. This is my territory, and my boundaries are not negotiable. Every betrayal begins with the collapse of your own position. Loyalty is simply a natural byproduct of continuing to become stronger. Never beg another person to be loyal to you. Loyalty is not some pure moral virtue. It is a pledge of allegiance the weak offer to the strong. A true king does not keep looking over his shoulder. He remains steady on his throne, and the world eventually lines up to bow before him.